rooming with Corey was so unbelievably gross, dude. This dude snored louder than anybody in the fucking world, man. Oh my God, Corey's snoring is so fucking loud. You cannot go to sleep next to him, right? And just like such grossness. You know, okay, he was a vegetarian at this time, right? And he had a sandwich and he didn't like it. So instead of throwing the sandwich away, do you know what he did? He threw the fucking sandwich and all these gross ass old vegetables in the fucking sink. And we were in that hotel room for like a week, okay? A fucking week, dude. It was disgustingly smelly. And we had no idea why it smelled. And then finally, like right before we leave, I look in the fucking sink and this dude threw away a sandwich there like a week ago. And just like never had the foresight to be like, when I'm complaining about the smell every fucking like 30 minutes, it was in the fucking goddamn sink. It was disgusting. Anyways, then he snored so incredibly badly that Trey got like the way the hotel room that we were staying was there was a room with beds over here, right? And then if you go out of here, you go over to like the living area, I guess you want to call it. I don't fucking know. Um, and that was where the couch was, and TCK was on the couch. It was so bad that it woke me up in the middle of the night, and I had to drag my fucking bed in the middle of the night and fucking put it in the other room next to Trey at like fucking like 2 a.m. because he snored so fucking bad and I couldn't sleep. That's how bad he snored. I have like a yeah, dude. If I remembered them all, there's so many with Corey. Corey has the funniest fucking stories. Dude's like fucking a hilarious person. Um, oh my God. Quantic, when we were on Quantic, we literally had the most backwards owner in the fucking world. We had this guy Sambuca, okay? No offense, Sambuca, but you're literally the worst owner of any organization ever, okay? This dude was like 500 pounds. No, he wasn't 500. He was probably 400 pounds, okay? He comes with us to fucking Copenhagen games, okay? First off, he rents like this awful house for so much fucking money. 30 minutes away from the LAN, 30 minutes away from the venue that we boot camped out. It was fucking terrible. Costed a million, like so much fucking money, and the house was awful. And it had these hardwood floors, okay? And this guy was so sweaty and disgusting. You have no idea. Just snored and farted all day long. I'm not even kidding. The loudest farts I've heard in my fucking life. Just like it sounded like a fucking whoopee cushion. Constantly farting. So fucking 10 times louder than that. Constantly coughing, constantly smart farting, and his snoring was twice to 3 times louder than Corey's snoring. It was awful. And he would get absurdly drunk, man. He would literally drink like 40 beers. I'm not even kidding, like that many beers, because he's like 400 pounds. He needs a ton of them, right? He needs a ton of beers. And he would drink like 30, 40 beers or something like that. Something absurd like that. I don't know how many. I don't know how many fucking beers you need to get drunk. I fucking hate beer. Anyways, just a ridiculous amount of beer. And he would just be screaming behind us while we're playing, and none of us could hear anything. None of us could fucking hear a thing while we were playing. None of us even wanted to play. We were just like looking at each other like, is this really what is going on right now? We went and we placed third at ESWC. Then we placed fifth, sixth at Copenhagen games, which wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't bad at all, like placing like that. But we could have done better at Copenhagen games. I think we could have beat very games. But he was just like, none of us wanted to play. This guy was screaming at the top of his lungs behind us, drunk as fuck. We'd get a kill and he'd just be like yelling at the top of his lungs, "You French fucking faggots, this and that." Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so every night he would get super fucking drunk. He'd go and he'd shower. Then he'd take his naked body out of the shower, not put on a towel, not dry himself off, lay himself down on the hardwood like you would do a plank, and just start gliding across the hardwood floors. Gliding across the hardwood floors at like a mile per hour, moving like a snail. Just fucking gliding, this guy Sambuca. just farting, his naked body gliding across the hardwood floors. He broke three different beds in the house, broke some kid's crib, fucked up the walls. Fucking none of us could sleep any night because he's just drunk, jumping in the bed. Like, dude, I weighed like 140 pounds at this point. I weigh like 155 now. I was like 140 at this point, I think. Okay? I'm pretty sure I was like really skinny back then. And he jumped on the bed next to me, or like on top of me, and I swear to God, he almost broke my leg. I almost died. I almost got suffocated by this man. Okay? Yeah, we called him the fucking Michael Phelps of the hardwood. Trey made that one up. He started calling Michael Phelps of the hardwood. Every night he'd be so drunk, he'd take a shower, get out of the shower, be butt naked, completely wet, sweaty as fuck. Cause oh my god, this house was awful, dude. This house had windows everywhere. It didn't have any it didn't have any fucking what's it called? It didn't like have many walls. It was just windows. So it would get to be like 90 degrees in the fucking house. So all of us were so sweaty when we woke up in the morning and shit like that. And he was just sweaty and wet. And then he'd finally go to bed. And when he went to bed, he like wore something on his face that kept him alive. Okay? That's how like fat and out of shape he was. All right? He literally kept something on his face that like kept him alive or something. So he kept breathing throughout the night. I don't know what it was, but it was this thing. It just went across his face. It was like a breathing tube or something like that. And then he had this big like vacuum looking thing with oxygen or some shit. I don't fucking know. But anyways, he wore that every night to go to bed. And it was just all and this is the funniest part, dude. Oh my god. He told us that he has this thing. Okay? Yeah, it was like a Darth Vader thing or whatever. And so we're all picking roommates before we go there. And he goes like, "Oh yeah, man, I love Sambuca. I'll room with you, brother. I love you, Sambuca." Actually, he doesn't say brother. But anyways, he's like, "Oh, yeah, that'll be great rooming with Sambuca." Yeah. And Sambuca said that his respirator or whatever doesn't make any noise. It was the loudest thing in the world. Hiko, out of like 7 days, probably got like 10 hours of sleep. He couldn't sleep. And Sambuca slept in the baby crib. This fucking like $3,000 baby crib. Because this house like must have cost a lot of money, even though I fucking hated that house. Fucking Hiko had to room next to him. And this 400-pound Sambuca slept in a baby crib. Broke the baby crib, broke like two of the beds because every night he'd be drunk as fucking jump on him. And Hiko didn't get like any sleep. No, Hiko got like no sleep at all. Hiko's a good roommate. Hiko's a good roommate. Hiko snored with me one time, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't snore like normally. But Hiko's really clean. He always wants shit to be in place. He's like he always smells good. Fun fact about Hiko always smells nice. He's a nice smelling guy. All right, you're not gonna have to worry about any BO or anything like that. Hiko always throws shit away. He's really clean. Hiko's a good roommate. All right, besides the snoring every once in a while. That I literally hated him for like a week straight because I couldn't get any sleep one night. I literally like would be up at night and I would look at Hiko and it would take every ounce of just everything I had to not just fucking kill him because of how bad he snored this one night. I just got no sleep. But that was before I knew about melatonin. Melatonin is like the greatest thing ever. Anytime you go to Europe, just take melatonin with you, and you'll be able to pass the fuck out when you need to.